Hi everyone, thanks for joining me here in my kitchen. It's kind of cold and rainy today, and so I decided to make jook for dinner. I happen to have a couple of frozen fish fillets in my freezer, so I defrosted them this morning, and now I have everything I need to make fish jook. So come eat with me, Lorianne Lee, as we make some hearty Cantonese fish jook. Making jook is a great comfort food. And like I said, I had some frozen fish fillets. So this was 2 fish fillets that were individually vacuum sealed. So I just cut them up into pieces about 1.5 inches wide. I cut them on a bias, so they're pretty thin. They're going to be cooked by just swirling them into the hot soup. And I didn't want them too chunky, but also not too thin because they would just disintegrate. We're also using 8 ounces of rice. I actually have been eating a mixture of white and brown rice, and so that's why it looks like a mixture, because it is a mixture. So that is 1/2 pound of rice. We will be using 6 cups of water for our soup base. We will be using some fine julienne pieces of ginger. This was about a 2-inch knob of ginger that I peeled with a spoon, and then I cut into very fine matchsticks. And this is 1 ounce of ginger. I have some green onions and cilantro that I already prepped. These are just for garnish, and I like a lot of green onions and cilantro, so that's why I have these. And then we're going to use 1 egg white, so I'll need to separate the egg, and some salt, white pepper, cornstarch, and soy sauce, and a little bit of oil. And that's it. So I had the fish in my freezer. I always have rice in my pantry. I was out of ginger, so I stopped at the store to buy some ginger. But otherwise, I had everything either my pantry, my refrigerator, or my freezer. As far as equipment, I'm going to be using a 3-quart saucepan to make my soup. I have a strainer that I am going to rinse the rice with, and I'll be using my balloon whisk to stir our jook. Nothing special as far as equipment either. The first thing that I need to do to prep everything is to rinse and wash my rice. So all I did was put the rice into a larger bowl, and I covered it with cold water from the sink. And you can see how cloudy that is, right? You can barely see that there's something at the bottom of this bowl. So I'm going to rinse this out, add fresh water, and repeat that 2 times. So I'll do this for a total of 3 times. Then I'm going to drain the rice. I just wanted to show you real quick how clear the water is after 3 times of rinsing the rice. I have soaked and rinsed the rice in cold water 3 times. And now I have transferred it into my fine mesh strainer, and I just have it over the bowl just to catch any remaining liquid. The marinade for our fish is very simple. I have 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, and now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water. Just want to make sure that all of those dry ingredients have dissolved in the water. So you can see this is just a little bit of liquid. There's only 1 tablespoon of water. So now I'm going to put the fish in gently, and I'm using my chopsticks to gently stir. When I prep the fish, I made sure to really use paper towels to get it as dry as possible. I can see that the fish is coated, and now I have this egg white. This is just 1 egg white that I separated. And I'm just giving it a little stir. And by adding that egg white, that will help the fish to keep its nice white flesh color, so that the marinade and the egg whites are touching the surface of every every piece of filet. I switched to using my silicone spatula instead of chopsticks. I can still be gentle and it helps me mix this easier. Okay, so I just added in that 1 egg white, and now I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of oil, and I happen to be using avocado oil. You could use olive oil or avocado oil or vegetable oil, canola oil. For this application, pretty much anything will do. You don't want something flavored like sesame oil though. So now I'm just gonna set this aside while I work on the other ingredient. All right, I have my 6 cups of water coming to a boil. You can see that it is an active boil. So I'm going to now add in this 8 ounces of rinsed clean rice that I strained into the pot. I'm going to give it a good stir. Well, after I get every last piece of rice I can. I just put the rice in, gave it a stir, and now I'm waiting for it to come back up to a boil. Now, as far as technique, we want to not stir it anymore for a while. So no more stirring. You'll be tempted, but don't do it. Resist the urge to stir because that will help it not stick. All right, it has come up to a boil. So now I'm going to turn it down to low heat. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. That was just vegetable oil. I turned the heat down to low, and now I'm going to cover the pot and let this cook for 25 minutes. No lifting the lid, no stirring. Resist the urge. 25 minutes, nothing to do. All right, the 25-minute timer just went off, and now I'm using my whisk to stir this for 1 to 2 minutes. This will help break up the grains of rice and make this soup nice and smooth. I'm going to stir this with my whisk for a minute or 2, and then we'll add in the rest of the ingredients. I can see that the grains of rice are broken up. It's still very wet, but once I add in the fish that has been marinating with cornstarch, it will thicken up a little bit. I'm going to turn the heat up to medium because it was simmering on low. And now I'm going to slowly add in the fish. So I'm going to use my chopsticks. I'm going to add in a little bit of fish at a time. And what's going to happen, remember I cut this fish very thinly. The heat from the soup is what's going to cook it. So I'm putting in a few pieces at a time. I'm using my chopsticks to gently stir it so that the fish doesn't cook in one clump, it doesn't stick together. And I can see that the fish is already starting to cook. I see some pink bits that are turning white, so that tells me that the fish is cooking. I'm also going to add in that 1 ounce of finely sliced ginger. Remember, the soup was just water and rice, so it's by adding in this marinated fish, the ginger, and the additional seasonings I will do next that it gets its great flavor. All right, I'm switching back to my silicone spatula, and now I'm going to add in the rest of the seasoning. So I'm going to add another 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. We marinated the fish with a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper earlier, so now I'm adding that in. I want 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. I add in a tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm giving this a gentle stir, and you can see that just by adding in the fish that has a little bit of that cornstarch in the marinade, that my jook has actually thickened up. So this is looking great. Give this a taste to check my seasoning. Ooh, love, love, love that fresh ginger and white pepper. Okay, I'm adding in some more salt. Giving it another stir. Remember, recipes when you're cooking are just guidelines. You need to taste and adjust as you go. Okay, that's amping up the ginger and other flavors, but I think I still need a little bit more. Oh yeah, that last addition of salt made it much better. I think I'm actually going to add another drizzle of soy sauce. Again, being very gentle as I stir. I don't want to break up all of these pieces of fish. There, that is excellent. So now I'm going to turn off the heat. So I'm going to taste this. I love that fresh ginger and white pepper combination. I'm being gentle when I'm stirring because I don't want to break up all of these lovely pieces of fish. So I can see now that this fish, let me move it over to my spoon. Here's a piece of fish that is completely opaque. It is white through and through, so I can tell that that is cooked. Let me take a bite of that. Oh yeah, woo, hot. But when I bit it, it broke off easily, super flaky. If it were not fully cooked, it would not have flaked off so easily. All right, let's dish this up and eat some jook. When I decided to make jook, I grabbed a package of frozen yao jiao guai from the Asian market. So these are fried Chinese donuts. If you've ever ordered jook, the Chinese rice porridge soup at dim sum, you may have seen this fried donut. I just preheated my air fryer and I'm going to stick one of these in there to get nice and warm and toasty, but this is directly out of the freezer. All right, the yao jiao guai has been warmed up and toasted in my air fryer. All right, let's cut into this yao jiao guai, this fried Chinese donut. Ah, hot, hot, hot. All right, you can see the inside, it is steaming hot, has nice fried exterior. This is a great side to go with jook because it has a nice crunch. You can dip it into your jook if you want, or just keep it dry and crispy and just keep it on the side. I used a serrated knife to help me cut up this yao jiao guai. I've never purchased yao jiao guai frozen before, but this was super easy. I just stuck it in my air fryer for 5 minutes and it's all toasty warm and crisp on the outside. I am now going to dish up some of my jook. I am telling you, if you like ginger, you got to try this jook. Oh, that ginger with the white pepper is just such a great combination. Try it, try it, try it. I added in some green onions and cilantro garnish. So now I have a little bit color with my jook, but remember we added in that egg white when we marinated the fish, and that actually helps to keep the color of the fish white. So here's a bite with some ginger and fish and green onions. Yum. I love that white pepper, ginger. Great, great combination. I don't think I ever made fish jook before growing up. Again, I didn't need a lot of special equipment or ingredients even. I had everything in my freezer, refrigerator, and pantry. The only thing I was out of that I needed to get was ginger. And ginger is definitely key to this fish jook. The ginger and the white pepper and the fish are totally a match made in heaven. It's actually kind of funny that I crave jook sometimes because when I go to dim sum, I never order jook because it's a filler, right? That hearty rice broth. And when I go to dim sum, I want to eat dumplings and lots of shrimp and pork and everything. And so when I go to dim sum, I don't usually order jook. And when I make jook at home, it's usually just turkey jook from Thanksgiving, or I use a chicken carcass from rotisserie chicken to make jook, but it's always my no recipe, just hearty, thick, the bones in it type of soup, home style jook. But this new method that I learned from Made with Lao, I'm loving this process. It makes it super fast and it has more of that texture of Jook when you get it in dim sum, where it's smoother, more refined. Don't need lots of fancy equipment or special ingredients. Just make sure you get that ginger and white pepper. I hope when you try it, you're as successful as I was today. Thanks again for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time. Come eat with me, Lorianne Lee.